I'm Hannah Jolander.
And you're listening to High Heels and Punchlines, Sex in the City, episode
Rewatch.
6.
Season 3, episode 6. Are we sluts? With a special guest.
We have a really special guest
who
today.
we do talk about every episode.
We literally say your name.
Do you
every
hear the
single
way we
day.
say?
Well, I'm always at the... Cause it's so weird being here and like watching it from this angle because I'm used to watching the videos back. So
and we
this
always
is
say your
crazy.
voice, like we say your name at the end when we're like the most fatigued. We're always like,
know.
Becky Hermenze.
Thank you to Becky Hermenze. Sean Curley.
Thanks, Sean Curley, whatever.
Podcasting actually like really takes it out of us for some reason.
It really, I can't believe we used to do 2 at a time always.
No, that was
like
nuts
crazy.
when we were in the basement.
Yeah.
We were locked in the
basement.
basement.
Now we're
forced
in
to
the
do 2 hours at a time.
Yeah, this is literally the penthouse.
Literally
I was out
the
of breath when
penthouse
I got up
suite.
these stairs.
Okay, so we are joined by Becky Hermenze today, who is our video and production editor. Is that right?
Production, I don't know. I produce the podcast.
Yeah,
Like
you produce.
what we've been saying every episode. Like, is
Yeah,
that
I
correct?
kind of mix
Okay.
it up every
It
time.
is. You do mix
We
it up.
do. We're
every
like
time.
the video editor. She's editing.
How many times do I say, what do we call her?
Yeah, what do we call her?
Pretty much every episode.
Every episode.
Becky's also a comedian. She does stand up, and you have your own podcast.
I do.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everyone what that is?
Yeah, so I have a podcast called Madam Vice President.
Hell
It
yeah.
is a Veep rewatch podcast.
Perfect season for it.
Hannah and Nora have both been on the podcast, and we're recording another episode today where they're both going to be on. So I feel like I've been bringing back like my most popular episode, I think, because it's the first episode, is the one with you, Hannah.
Wow,
Like,
that means a lot to me.
It's the most popular one, so I'm excited to
Is
have
the least popular one mine?
Yours is actually
so
pretty
the-
popular too. I find that like the first episodes of the seasons,
Oh,
like
really?
always like, because you were the first episode of season 2,
Oh,
so
hell yeah. Okay.
I feel like those always get
Okay.
Because because
most
I
traction.
listen to a lot of rewatch pods and I
Yeah.
do it while watching the show, and it's always the easiest to listen to the episode, listen to the podcast, watch the episode.
Yeah.
But as the season goes on, you like fall behind.
Yeah, exactly.
But you catch
So,
up. You catch up.
No, both of your episodes are pretty popular, but
And
I think
Art
just
had
because yours
an added layer.
Yeah,
That people thought I
yeah.
was like coming on to Becky.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait, I want to listen to it. What happened?
I was like,
Or wait, no, I did listen to part of it. Because I was in prep for mine. I listened to yours.
I was like, I need to get Becky alone the same way I was talking about you.
It's so funny.
People were like,
Yeah.
Hannah like really wants to spend time
Hannah wants
with
to
you.
spend time with me and like be my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, we do.
And they were like, what's that about?
Oh,
It's
God.
like, no,
Here she goes.
I
Sorry,
don't,
Margot's
I'm a
like,
little
Such a little
nervous.
diva.
Okay, she's like playing with the lights. That's fine.
She can play with that tripod.
I
instead
want
of this
everyone to know
tripod.
that this tripod is at a little bit of a tilt because the wire's pulling.
Yeah.
So if she does hit it from the back, that's
Hit
a
it from
weird
the
way
back.
to say
she hits it from the back.
it will probably fall forward.
We're talking about Margot, just for those of you who can't see from our
It's not like
vision.
another person in the room.
She has her own
yeah.
journey.
She's
that
always
she's
she's
been
a big
on.
character.
I love her. She's such a good cat.
She really is the best cat in the world, but we won't get into it because I could go for hours.
For
on
hours. That there could be a chirp episode just called Margot.
Margot.
And I could do
why
one called
she's-
Stinky.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure tons of people want to listen to both
Just a
those
cat.
episodes. Oh, what's this episode about? Nora's cat.
And
Sounds-
followed
Yeah,
up
but
next
Margot's
week
so
by
much
Hannah's
more
dog.
than a cat, and that's what would be the fun of the episode.
I would like to see Margot and Stinky in like we could create a narrative for both of them.
Okay.
Like in as
Have
a
they
story.
met? Have you introduced them to each other?
No, Margot has a dark past with meeting people,
And
meeting
when
animals.
My Stinky, when Stinky met my mom's cats,
Yeah.
it went okay because like he doesn't care about them. Like he just wants to be in the house talking to people. I'm like down bad for this dog.
No, it's okay.
That's
but
your
like
son.
he doesn't want to he didn't want to play with the cats, but the cats were like obviously where cats are like they were very upset with him in the home.
Aw.
Yeah.
And Liam scratched Stinky's nose, and like Wolf and I were chill about it. We just like got Stinky away. Stinky was literally walking by Liam, like was not interested, and Liam like scratched his nose.
Liam's Hannah's mom's cat.
Yeah, and my mom was like, I'm really glad he did that, and I'm glad like he showed us that he can stand up for himself. If roles reversed, if Stinky scratched Liam, like we would have been on the street.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I would have been like
you would have been kicked out.
But she was like, I'm really glad he stood up for
We're so
himself.
glad that happened.
Just like when she texted me a picture the other day of like my other cats who had passed, And I was with Nora and I just responded like, oh, so sweet. And just like unprompted, mom was like, yes. And they all were special in their own way. It's like, okay, like, sure.
No, my mom definitely talks about like our dead dogs like that too. Like remembers them as if they were people.
They were like her other children.
Yeah, her other children.
That's going to be me with Stinky.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, season 3, episode 6, Are We Sluts? Before we get into the episode, we need to know like your history with Sex in the City. Like,
yes.
When did you watch it? How often did you watch it?
Well, the first time I ever watched it, I feel like was so like stereotypical. Like when I moved to New York for college, like that's when I first started watching it. Also because like my friends had watched it, so I wanted to also watch it. But like I didn't have HBO growing up, so I never really even like heard of it before.
You never like watched the reruns on E?
No.
That's where
really?
I got it. That's where I got it.
I was busy on TV Land watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
I loved TV Land.
That was my
Everybody
jam.
Loves Raymond.
I was a TV Land kid. Like I
Everybody
loved
Loves Raymond
TV
is
Land.
also really good.
It's a great show.
I loved it.
But yeah, I watched it and I feel like I only watched it through once, and I've like, it's really just like to get the cultural like touchstones and like the references that everybody makes. And
so you don't feel like connected to it?
I don't feel super connected to it. I think it's harder for me to relate to it as a gay woman. I think, I mean, I also like when I moved to New York, I also watched Broad City for the first time, and I was way more into Broad City than I was into Sex in the City. But I did really like Sex in the City. I wouldn't say that I was like super connected to it though. And obviously when And Just Like That came out, I was watching it because that became like,
because that's insane.
It's literally insane. And that also became like a big like cultural touchstone, I feel like, as well. So I wanted to be like,
you wanted to know what was going on.
Yeah, I wanted to know what the girls were up to.
Did you feel like connected to a girl? Like people like, you know how we are like, I'm such a Charlotte, I'm such a Samantha, or like not really?
No, I did. I definitely related to Miranda a lot, and like it makes sense now because Miranda is the queer one.
Yeah,
and I mean like they've all had.
You were
their
like, there's
own,
something
like,
about her.
Yeah, it was like
there's something about her that I really relate to.
Something about Cynthia Nixon that just makes me be like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
But no, I other than that, I did really relate to Miranda. 'Cause she was very like, I was always very focused on like work, and I feel like she's, even in this particular episode too, like I related to her a lot of just like the thoroughness that she does of like going through like literally making a list of every person that she's ever slept with. I was like, that is something that I would
I thought that was like nuts. Like when we get into the episode, I thought Miranda's storyline was crazy.
Do you want to do the overview?
Yeah.
The summary.
Okay, so the highlights for today's episode: Carrie is waiting to have sex with Aiden. Miranda has chlamydia. Charlotte is getting yelled at in bed, and Samantha is forced to move out in a way. And then the question is also the title of the episode, which is, Are we sluts?
I have a question. How many dates is it acceptable for you to not have sex before you
like how
have
many
sex?
dates?
Sorry, I'm like still asleep. Okay.
Like how many dates?
How many dates?
Like in this Aiden situation, like how many?
Yeah,
before
like
it's
how
too
many?
I don't know. I feel like it really depends, like on the person, because there are some people where it's like I'm probably only gonna sleep with them and not like date them.
Yeah,
like it, you know, it's just like a hookup or something. But I don't know. When it comes to like dating, I'm trying to think. I like haven't really dated anyone in a while. It's just been a lot of like, you know, first dates that end in hookups. And I don't know. It felt like Carrie's whole thing this episode, like I also didn't really relate to, where she was, it feels like she, and this can be said about like a lot of things about her, but she has these like set rules that she wants everyone else to follow. And it feels like that, you know, how many dates do you go on before you sleep with someone? I think that's like, it depends on the person that you're dating, the person that you are. Like, I don't think there's like a set number that you should like follow. It's like whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you want to do.
I felt like her and Aiden, like I liked this dynamic for her where like she's like trying to follow what she knows, like men want to have sex and like that's a hallmark of we're moving, and he's like, no, like we're having fun, we're getting to know it. Like I liked that she was like able to feel secure, like she knows she's gonna see him again, she knows she's gonna get attention from him, but like it's not all connected to sex. Like I liked that there was that for her. But personally, I thought it was like a little bit like douchey guy behavior to be like, I could see myself caring about you, and that's when we'll have sex. Because then it was like, okay, so now she knows that's the like now she knows that's the rule you're playing by, and now she has to follow that too. It was also like if a guy told me like, we're not having sex because I don't want to have sex with someone until I care about them, and now when I care about you, I'll let you know. That was the thing that
rubbed me the wrong way, where like I could see myself caring about you. I'm like, what, you don't already care about her?
Right,
You've
like
been
I
on
feel
how
like
many dates? Which I mean, I guess it's probably, I've never actively like went on dates and dated men before, so it might be something totally different. But like, I feel like if you've been on this many dates with her, you should care. Like, sleeping with someone doesn't have to equate to caring about them.
And I thought that like I felt like, personally, I thought this storyline was boring, but was like supposed to be boring, like to show the difference of like when Big is in the story, like she's not getting calls and she's fighting and she's calling him at midnight and she's showing about his place. And then like with Aiden, like it's boring. Like he's just like there all the time. He's bringing food. He's bringing beer. He's like drawing you a bath, which I thought was like weird.
Yeah. But she also, really I mean, I'll say it right now. Carrie pisses me the fuck off.
In this episode?
Every episode. I can't.
This episode I was actually okay with her.
I don't know. Everything about her is just like, I don't know, she pisses me off so much. And I don't know, it almost feels like it's a sort of like put on quirkiness. Like she's not actually this like, oh, like quirky and everything. Like it feels very like forced to me.
Whenever she's on the phone with someone, she's
God.
she's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I literally, most of my notes are like, Carrie is a cunt. Carrie is cringe.
Okay. Why is she a cunt in this episode?
Well, she's like, she's
a cunt at brunch. Like Charlotte's trying to talk about what's happening to her, and she's like, at least you're having sex.
And she's making it about herself, and then she like, there's the moment where she like, it seems like Aiden is gonna finally be like, okay, I want to sleep over and I want to sleep with you, and like she has the voiceover of like, oh well, now like I don't know if I want to like do this, and I'm like, what, we've spent the last 20 minutes of you being like, why won't this man sleep with me?
It is
and
Carrie's,
now he wants
Carrie
to sleep
loves
with you.
a game. Like Carrie wants there to be a little tension.
I also said that she has no, like, I don't know, I just feel like every time I watch her kiss somebody, I really do. This is like,
okay, the kissing scene in the beginning was hot. When he was like up the back of her skirt, I was like,
yeah, I liked that a lot.
We really liked that. We really liked that.
I don't think she has any. I don't think she has any game. I don't think she's like
really
good at like.
So when Aiden needed to leave to feed Pete, it reminded me of you. It also reminded me of myself of when I had a diabetic cat, and I had to leave places to go shoot up my cat.
I wrote that Carrie to Aiden is Nora to me when I'm like, I have to go. Like I have a long commute home. Like I have to walk Stinky, and she's like, yeah, you have the dog. You have to go. Like when I first got Stinky I couldn't hang.
Oh, Nora was jealous.
It put a damper on things.
It did, because
it was like we had such a nice like fun time, and now it was like she had a baby.
I did it. And that was at the same time that Wolf was traveling a lot.
Yeah.
And it was when I still lived in Williamsburg. So commuting home was like
a boring,
terrible, long commute.
Yeah.
And it was like, we would finish a podcast and she'd be like, you're not going to hang? I'm like, I got to go to Stinky. And she was like, yeah, you've got the dog.
Whatever, you have the dog.
I literally wrote that's Nora to me.
It put a rift in your relationship.
It doesn't, I've never had an animal quite like that except for Cat Stevens, my diabetic cat, but... Right. His name was Cat Stevens. Incredible name.
It is an incredible name.
Oh, Margot, I love you. But
well, I also wrote down like, I don't know. For me, I have a hard time sleeping over at other places.
Oh, wait. I talked about this with my friend for a really long time. Yeah. I'm curious what your thoughts are about that.
I don't know. I'm such a like, I love my own space and I need to be like somewhere that I feel like completely comfortable. And like, I don't know. And this was like a thing with me and my ex, who I think both of you met at one point.
I did.
Emily, or she came to Tits to the Glass a lot. I don't know if we were like really friends before.
I don't know.
Asking me. But that was like a big thing where like it was really like I would always be like, what if I don't sleep? Like there was so much anxiety around it and I have really bad OCD.
Okay,
so it was like, what if I don't sleep well? What if like something happens and I'm not home, and like there was so much anxiety around like sleeping over somewhere that I like wasn't familiar, or not even not familiar to me, wasn't my own space.
Yeah.
So like I kind of felt for Aiden of like he wanted to go home, and I'm like,
This
I get it.
also-
Sometimes I just wanted to go home too.
And I feel like in straight couples, the guy always stays at the girl's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something where it's like I mean, clearly something has changed. He has a dog. Like I don't know how he's just gonna. I don't that when he ends and he's like, I'll stay over. I literally was like, what's going on with the dog?
What's happening to the dog?
But I feel like
Is
in like
Pete okay?
straight couples, like it's always. Don't you feel like guys are always here? You're never at guys' place.
But I'm changing that.
Okay.
Starting soon. So because
I hated
watch
going
out,
to
everyone.
other people's places.
I
don't know how you do it.
I basically
I can't
I'm
do
not
it.
well, I'm not hosting anymore because my friend actually, who is also a lesbian, not that
Right.
that she said
also-
who also
It's the hand
gay gay
but
like
also
you,
the- But anytime Hannah tags me in a text
Yeah.
on the group
has,
chat,
like,
it comes
rainbows
up with
and
the
stuff.
rainbows and the girls
Because
kissing.
remember when
Oh
I
my
forgot
God.
you were gay? I was like, I can't do that again.
but my friend was like, Nora, having someone over is so intimate. Like in lesbian world, like that's like
It is.
intense. Like you can't,
It
like, because
really
I was
is.
frustrated because I had this guy over and he was snoring, and it was like a whole thing, and it basically
Nightmare.
like ruined the relationship because
Yeah.
whatever that was, and I made him leave, and that created some tension and whatnot. And she was like, Nora, it's really intense to have someone sleep over. So it's like,
It
and
is.
I think in like heterosexual dating, we don't think about that enough. But
Yeah, it's
in
like no big deal. It's the
in like
norm.
queer dating, it's like it is very
big
it's more
deal.
respected.
Yeah.
And like because women are more respectful and men can like sleep on the floor, like
Yeah.
out on the street. So
And
they
I
will be
feel like-
sleeping out on the street.
They
Here.
will be sleeping on the
Men
street.
used to get mad at me where after we'd hook up, I'd be like off to your house, and they'd be like, no, I want to stay over, and I'm like, no,
No,
like
no.
I'm gonna get up
Bye-bye.
in the morning and have a whole day, and
Yeah.
none of it. And people are like, why were you single for so long? I was like, this is why. I'd be like, we had sex, we had fun. I'll text you, but like, you cannot stay at my house. Like, I need to go
Yeah.
to bed. Especially because I have to sleep with the TV on. Guys would be like,
Oh,
oh,
I
no
always-
TV. I'd be
yeah.
like, get out.
Yeah.
Go home.
I know. Whenever I would
Get
sleep
out.
over at somebody's
Hannah's
house,
doing a
I would
gun.
like bring my AirPods with me, and like
Yeah.
I would just like put one in while
Sleeping
we're,
is
like,
so personal.
it's so personal.
And then
It
to
is
have like a
something-
random straight guy at your
It's
house.
very
It's
intimate,
awful.
and
It's
I'm
awful.
like you said, like I have like a whole routine that
Mm-hmm.
I do, and like I like to do my routine in my space.
Oh, I pause everything to do my routine. I wear my night guard to bed with like new people in my bed.
Which,
I'm like,
like,
hold
yeah.
on, I gotta do my night guard, my
It's
skin
like
But
when
then
you
it's
do
like
the sleeping
trying to,
meds
like-
while we're recording the episode.
No, I literally, and I towards the end of a hang with a guy, I have to take my sleeping meds at a certain
Yeah.
time. So like,
No,
I'm
'cause I
like-
have sleeping meds too, so I feel the same
I'm kind of
way.
like in a blackout for part of it too. So
What do you take?
So
do
we
you take
can't-
trazodone?
now I used to though.
I take
Trazzy.
trazodone.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Fun.
Yeah.
Love Traz.
I take hydroxyzine.
Noise.
Hydroxy.
I don't know if I've
but
ever
yeah.
taken that
The way
one.
I just readjusted, I just got like a whiff of my Ben Gay on my back. Do you smell it?
I don't know what Ben Gay is.
Real? It's like
you
a.
don't know what Ben Gay
You like?
is?
I feel like you would love Ben Gay.
It's
Really?
It's like a
kind of
topical
like-
cream
yeah.
you put on. It smells strong, and it
is
just
it like the
lo-
tiger thing?
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
it's more medicated. It's
Yeah,
more
Okay.
intense.
it's a little
Okay.
bit like icy hot, like the
Okay.
Like because of my back issue I'm having before I work out tonight, I'm gonna put that on, loosen everything up, and then
Smart.
you'll be good to go.
Okay.
Sorry,
Smart.
this is like not. We're like literally. You guys are talking about your sleep meds. I'm talking about Ben Gay. We can get back to Carrie and Aiden. I want to
No,
know.
but like so I'm saying with Aiden, like I get it.
You-
and I'm
you
like,
relate to
it's
him.
fair. I relate to you wanting to be in your own space and go home because I'm like, we'll probably see each other tomorrow. Like,
yeah,
why do I
it
have
seems
to
like he's
stay
around a lot.
the whole
Like,
Well,
night?
it seems like they were only together for a week and a half before this whole thing popped up, and that's like
Yeah.
that means that they were hanging out a lot in that week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like sad for Carrie that she couldn't enjoy what was happening. You know,
Yeah.
like she's so
'Cause, like,
the
she
hall
has, like,
marker in
her
her
own
head was
rules.
like, once we have sex, I know we're moving somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is fine for that to be how she like views the relationship. But I was like, he's here, he's bringing food, he's giving you massages, you're laughing about movies. Like you haven't had this with any other guy you've dated in the last couple of years. You had to beg him to like show up for you or like
Yeah.
want to spend time
Yeah.
with you. Like I felt sad that she couldn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
But what I do want to know is how we felt about the bath.
Oh, I hated the bath.
I thought that was so
also huge
weird.
fire hazard when she threw the towel at him. And there were
That's what I
candles
thought,
everywhere.
too.
I was like, oh
my
big
God,
fire
sorry.
hazard. Sorry, Hannah's getting a call.
Dog Wise Academy.
oh God.
No,
But like, if someone
bath-
oh my God, well, that's
the
gone.
bath felt weird. I feel like anytime in movies or TV when someone like, it's different to have like a bath drawn for you and be like, okay, you can go in the bath, like enjoy it. I did this for you. I feel like that's nice, but like, I feel like it's the same with like sleeping over, where I'm like, I don't want someone in the bath with me.
And like, he's in. I mean, one big swing. You know, he doesn't even know she likes bath, and now he's been in her bathroom for 30 minutes setting this up.
That's weird. Because and not knowing what he's doing in there for 30 minutes
is so weird.
And you can only assume.
Also, like, I don't like baths.
I also don't like
if
baths.
I was like, if
baths.
Wolf, so I guess you would have been turned on by this.
I mean, not turned on, but,
But
I
like, kind of like green
is,
flag boyfriend. When
like,
she was going back in her head, like, is he a boyfriend or a friend?
Right.
You come in and you see that, you're like, okay.
Yeah, but
we're
I also
boyfriend.
be like, I'm gonna do this alone. Like,
Yeah.
go
Well,
away.
I want to do it alone.
What
and like,
a
if I am going to
boob
take a bath,
privilege to be able to get in the tub with a
Actually,
man.
now,
Yeah,
maybe
you'll
I
be
might-
fine in that
maybe
tub.
I might be fine now because I have new boobs.
Yeah, your boobs
True.
would look great
Okay,
in
I'm
the
gonna
tub.
jump into the bath.
sorry guys, pause.
Also, she was so bragging, little person, big tub.
Oh
oh my god! I was like, shut
I'd
the
be like,
fuck
big
up.
person, little tub.
I would have gotten in and it would have gone over the edge.
Well, I'm also like, just the logistics of putting two people in a bathtub stresses me out.
Sometimes I think in my bath, I take a lot of baths, and sometimes I think if there would be someone else
Crazy, I've
in the
never
bath.
gotten like a call from you in the tub.
It's kind of like my place to like
That's
decompress.
like your-
Yeah,
you know?
like don't bring a phone.
Like
into
I-
the
When
tub.
Well,
I
I-
used
I
to
put up
take
the
baths, that was my
tripod.
call time. You put up the tripod.
I put up the
What's going on
tripod and I
there?
watch TV on my phone. I've been doing that
That's kind
recently.
of genius.
I used to do it. I used to stack a bunch of books and put my laptop, but then I was
Yeah.
like, oh, we have a tripod. So I like put it up and I watch like
But don't you
Housewives.
like? Do you put down one of those like inflatable chairs in there? You know those
No.
bath inserts?
No, I don't. I'm just
Oh.
lying back. And
Is it comfortable?
Yeah.
I don't even because I have my own bathroom because my room is all the way at the end of the hallway and I have 3 other roommates. They have a bathtub in their bathroom, but my bathroom is just like a shower stall, so I don't even have a bath. So I'm
Oh.
just like,
And you try sitting in that?
yeah,
Big
and I'm like,
bummer.
I wouldn't do baths with roommates.
yeah.
Baths
And I've
because
only
you need
ever
to
had
like
roommates
or
or
because it's like
my-
a solo.
grew
You have
up
to
with
scrub it out.
I
two
did
brothers.
have a roommate at the last place who would do like 45-minute hour baths, and it's like
It's a lot.
just
That's
me
getting
knowing
pruny.
like I cannot use the bathroom for 45.
Yeah.
I just feel like you have to, if you're gonna have a roommate and use the bath, you have to know the roommate's out of the house.
Yeah,
Right.
or
It's
at
a very
least tell
personal
them and be
experience.
like, hey, like if you need
For
to go
an
to the
hour,
bathroom,
I'm gonna
like,
have this solo experience
Well,
in the
also
tub.
that's really intense. You wouldn't have the bathroom for an hour.
That's
Yeah.
I was never mad about it, but that was my kind of reservation with it. There was never really a heads up, and I was just like, there goes the bathroom
There
for an
is a
hour.
bathroom. Yeah, that's annoying.
Now I have a big tub. Maybe I could get into baths.
I think you should. It's really nice with
I
Epsom
don't
salt.
know.
It'd be great for your
just
back.
I was gonna say I do it because I have a bad back too, so I like doing it for like my back. But I'm
Yeah.
like, to me, a bath isn't relaxing. Like I
Really?
feel like I'm
Yeah.
just sitting, stewing in my own water,
No.
and like
no.
no.
And then I saw this tweet a few weeks ago that made me laugh so hard. That was like, getting out of the bath is so embarrassing.
It is.
Where you're just kind of like, well, I guess I'm done, and then you have to like rise, and you're like naked and like all
have to take a
pruny,
shower
and, like, yeah,
afterwards.
you have to rinse off.
It's a lot. Baths are not relaxing to me because I just can't. I just don't like the way I'm looking in the bath, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm not a person who can let that go to
That's
enjoy
also
the bath.
very relatable.
Which is why if Wolf made me a bath and then asked me to get in with him, there was a little bug. Just a little fly. It's like not.
It's okay. They're all over.
It's not urgent.
Yeah,
but it
they're
got my
little. They're very
attention.
small.
Okay, sorry.
I
I'm
like sleep with them.
No,
talking
I
about the
just-
bath. I'm talking about the bugs. I feel like this morning recording, I'm like all over the place.
I love baths, and I disagree with everything you guys are saying.
Okay.
But we can
Which
wrap
is
that.
fine.
Yeah,
And I don't judge
but
people
so
for like.
now we can stop
wrap
talking
that.
about baths.
We can wrap
wrap it
that.
up there.
Do we want to talk about
Agree
Miranda?
to disagree. One thing I do want to say though is that Carrie, I realized in this episode that I'm actually like very much relating to Carrie dating wise, and she made me feel a little bit better because she never really has a boyfriend. She's always like dating someone and having these challenges for like a couple months
and trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and trying to figure out what's going on. We've never seen her like actually have like a full relationship, and that's literally what I deal with all the time. I'll have like months and months of like what is going on, like someone who's, you know, unavailable. So Aiden being this person who like maybe wants to take the next step with her, like I actually understand her reservations around it and confusion because I feel like I'm in a similar boat, and that's the only time I would relate myself to Carrie.
And when you're dating, you're trying to get, like, I felt like when I was single, I was just trying to get into a relationship, and there's nothing more like anxiety inducing than that period of like, I've been seeing someone for a minute, it's going well, but like we haven't crossed the bridge, like we're not fully boyfriend girlfriend, we're just like, this is the only person I'm seeing, I really like it, I don't want to mess it up. Like she's just looking for that clue, like, okay, we're about to be dating. Because like when you're single and going on dates, it felt impossible to get into a relationship.
It really does.
It feels like it's literally never gonna happen. I mean, like when I was dating Carlos, we were dating for like 9 months, but we were not boyfriend girlfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like I have these things. I'll tell you guys something really crazy. So as we know, I've gotten kicked off of Bumble and Hinge for reasons that weren't my fault. And I'm not like a rapist or serial killer, as I mentioned in the last episode. It was because of political differences. Anyways, and a violent comment that I made. But anyways, towards United Healthcare guy. Come on. Okay. Anyways,
I know.
I had to re-download Tinder, and all these guys that I already have gone out with matched with me. I jokingly like swiped with them, and now I'm going out again with one of them, and another one too, who was like, let's try it again. And
maybe
I'm just
it's
like,
meant to be.
What's that saying that's like insanity
like
is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result?
One of them is like, I'm only looking for something casual, but who knows, maybe you might blow me away. And then I'm like,
that's literally the same as
like,
Aiden.
Okay.
I could see myself.
I'm like, can't wait.
Now you have to blow him away.
I really like, I genuinely feel so bad for women that date men. Like you guys are strong. Like, I mean, being queer and dating women has its own challenges, but holy shit. Like I just watched the most recent season of Love is Blind.
Oh my God.
And I'm just like,
UK or America?
America, the one in
you should
DC.
also watch.
I need to watch the UK one, I know. But I'm like, it
needs to.
It just,
gotta watch it.
It's so, I feel so lucky that I don't have to deal with that because holy shit, I don't think I could.
Yeah.
And like, not to be like one of these women, but like even when you're in a relationship like with a good one,
I can't imagine.
It doesn't stop.
No, I cannot imagine.
I won't say it on the podcast, but I was telling Nora like the issues I come home to sometimes. It's like, he's great, but
no,
he's a straight guy.
I can, at the end of the day, he's still a straight man.
So they have like half a brain. Yeah.
But it's
this one was crazy. He was like, I can't remember if we hooked up, but I had a really great time with you.
Are you seeing him again?
Yeah.
Okay.
I really
that one's on you.
Should I cancel it?
That's kind. I don't remember if we hooked up.
We did. And I was like, oh, I'm glad it wasn't memorable. Maybe I should cancel.
I would cancel that one, but keep the other one.
I have taken the stance of like the apps just like truly make me feel so bad about myself, which makes me not want to date. So I've deleted all of the apps like of my own volition because I'm just like I mean, I feel like I see everybody saying this, but like the people that they suggest to me on Hinge, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
This is who you think my most compatible person is?
It's hurtful.
Based on, it's hurtful.
It's hurtful.
And I mean, my last relationship was like a little over a year. We met on Hinge. Like it was definitely a success story. But I'm just like, since being back in the dating world, I'm like, this shit sucks. And like the apps are terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm just like not even on them anymore. I'm like, when it happens, it'll happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, feel like I'm trying to like take a back seat.
That's what I did before I met Wolf. I deleted all the apps and I met a couple guys offline, which was like amazing because I'm like, okay, this is so much better meeting people in person.
Yeah.
And then I met Wolf. Well, Wolf kind of met me, but
yeah. Well, and it's like, I'm like, if there's like a friend of a friend, if I meet somebody at a party, I'm like, I would much rather do that than like meeting this person that I think I would like based on, you know, just a couple of like prompts and photos that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I also feel like I have a joke about this in my stand-up, and I'm like, I feel like other people in my life are more upset about me being single than I am about being single.
Really?
Where I'm
In
like,
what way?
like anytime, so I work for a theater company and we go on tour a lot, and anytime we're in a different city or something, my friend is always like, you should get like the Hinge Plus so you can just like swipe on a bunch of people here and like maybe hook up with someone here. And I'm like,
why? Why do you want me to do that?
I'm like, I don't really want to. Like, that doesn't.
What will it mean for you if I hook up to someone here?
She's like very invested in like trying to get me.
How long are you? Because I feel like when you're gone, you're only gone for like
exactly.
couple
I'm
weeks
usually only gone for like a week or two. So it's like, it's not really.
And like you're working.
And I'm working. Exactly. But it's just the sort of, I don't remember where I was going with that, but yeah, I'm just like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
And I feel like all my friends are like, oh, when are you gonna like find somebody again, meet somebody again? And I'm like, I don't really care. I'm like,
You're
I
like when it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Relax.
And I'm like, I like sitting here and pining over 50-year-old female celebrities that don't know I exist.
You're like, I'm actually really busy.
Which ones? Like Miranda? Like Cynthia Nixon?
No,
yeah, is she like a crush in the
think,
community?
No, I think Cynthia Nixon is really amazing, but I don't really have a crush on her.
Yeah.
I'm like I love a high femme, like very like
Charlotte?
I mean,
Kristen Davis?
did you ever see Kristen Davis did this insane
Horror
Lifetime
movie?
movie
Really?
that came out a few years ago
What was
about
it?
like, did you watch it?
I think I know. The one where she's married to that guy and the nanny.
Then yes, with the nanny.
Yes,
It was this weird.
I watched it with my mom.
She hires this nanny who's played by Kelsey Grammer's daughter, and
Huge
it's
connection.
this weird like
Yolanda's her stepmom then.
No.
Camille.
Camille. Yeah.
Sorry. Yolanda, totally different.
Yolanda,
That's
totally
David.
different Beverly Hills housewife.
That's David Foster, whatever.
David
Yeah.
Foster.
Yeah.
No, and she like gets into this like insane relationship with this like nanny, and she becomes obsessed with her, and there's all these like slow scenes of the girl like shaking out her hair, and it's sort of like, oh, the nanny seduced the mom, and like it was crazy.
The scene where she's buying the nanny underwear.
So wild.
And then the nanny's like has a perfect body, and she's like,
Obviously.
oh, I'm insecure about this part of me, whatever. And she's like, Kristen Davis is like, there's gonna be a day where you're gonna grow older and your body's gonna look like this, and you're gonna be so thankful for youth. I turn and my mom is like, not, and I was like, okay. I can't watch this. This was such a weird pick to watch with her.
Wait, I want to watch that.
It's
What's
a
it
crazy
called?
movie.
Insane. I don't even remember the title, but I'll find it.
It's
you.
easy to find.
Yeah.
And should we talk about Charlotte's story then?
Yeah.
So
Let's talk
Charlotte
about
in this
Charlotte's
episode is having sex with this guy who's like this like really handsome finance
I was gonna say,
bro.
he was actually,
he was
I
really
think he's
hot.
the guy in the episode that I was like, oh, he's really cute.
And then he
I
just
know,
has
yeah.
this issue where he like blacks out when he
as he
comes
comes.
apparently, and goes, you're a fucking bitch, you're a fucking whore, to like Princess Charlotte, who like you don't speak to her like that. And he claims, I'm not trying to say he's lying, but like he claims he has no consciousness of saying this. And Charlotte tries to get him to stop, and then he comes again, and he either is like afraid to come because he's afraid he's gonna yell at her,
like,
or he just like comes and like calls her a fucking bitch, fucking whore.
Yeah.
Would this be a deal breaker for you guys?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's really
I
weird.
could never in my life imagine somebody saying that to me.
Well, I can't
I
imagine them
feel-
being like, I don't remember it. It's like, come
Yeah,
on.
That
the
would be
fuck?
the
Like,
if
you need to go to the hospital. Then.
right, like either come clean and
Something
be
is
like, this is
wrong.
how I get off.
Yeah.
And then we can maybe think about it.
Yeah.
He's like a really handsome, really nice,
I was gonna
and
say,
clearly
he's
has
really
money.
cute.
Kind of feels like other than this part, like a great match for Charlotte.
Yeah.
I just kind of
I literally wrote down Charlotte's guy is cute, next bullet point, but he's too hairy.
too hairy.
Yeah.
I thought
don't-
he was really cute. I actually was sad
Which
about the
again
yelling
is
at
the
her.
gay thing of like, I can't deal with a hairy
Yeah.
man.
You don't want him hairy.
Yeah. What's the weirdest thing someone said to you?
Like in bed.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Or like,
It's-
do you say weird stuff? We were talking about this the other day, and we don't say stuff
I
that
don't
No,
much.
say
I
weird
think
stuff.
if anything, I'm very quiet, and so people don't think that I'm like having a good time.
Yeah.
But so like I've gotten to the point where I tell people like before we sleep together, I'm like, just so you know, like I'm pretty quiet, but that doesn't mean that I'm not like into it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just, I don't know. I feel like it's almost anytime I do make noise, it almost feels like performative. So
Yeah,
I'd rather
that's
just
what
like,
you were
saying,
I would
yeah.
rather just be quiet and like vibe with it.
Yeah.
You know, than like,
Yeah.
and be doing that, and then you know, because like we've all masturbated. We all know that we can have an orgasm without moving or making a sound.
Yeah.
So then it's like when I'm doing this whole thing, it's like
feels,
maybe you don't know this, but like whoever I'm having sex with, but like I'm aware that this is like a show.
And I have slept with women before that have definitely like made the like porn star noises before, where I'm like, and then it like distracts me almost, where I'm like, is this, are you okay with this? Are you actually
with
like
women because you
know,
where like guys, like Wolf definitely thinks I like probably have to like put on lingerie and moan to like have an orgasm by myself. He's like, that's just what she has to do.
lingerie and moan.
Well, that's what she does when she masturbates.
Yeah, I've been with people who have said really crazy things, but I've never said, and then it always makes me, it takes me out of the moment. Like I had one guy, I think I talked about this a couple seasons ago, who was like, I want to just like get you pregnant. I want to put so many babies in
and
you.
it's like, I can't. What
and
are
I
we
was
doing?
like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, well, you can't because I have an IUD. Like, and like, I'm like responding.
Be like,
to
wait,
it.
let's get down to facts
like,
here.
no, you can't. And
Logistically,
so it was like,
no,
it's not gonna happen.
Or I mean, I don't know, just like weird things, or like you good girl, or like that. It's like,
I feel like if I were to really liberate myself and like be in the moment, I don't think some phrases would actually bother me, but I'm too aware of reality that like when people are saying crazy things to me, I like can't process it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I know there's people who like love being told like good girl. Like people love that. And I'm like, I feel like I'm too attached to reality to even
good girl. Like,
good
what
girl.
is that?
What
I mean, I do kind of like that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm definitely like, I love like praise and being told that I've like done a good job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not necessarily like good girl but like, you know.
I need to be
like the
I need to be
feedback.
complimented the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I need
like
that the entire time. But I don't need good girl. I
Yeah.
need like beautiful queen, princess,
Yeah.
pretty girl.
pretty princess.
You're a pretty princess.
Like the whole time. But like I feel like Wolf has definitely like said good girl, like that's something he likes to do. But I'll throw him a bone. You know, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
To like be like, sure.
Yeah, and I feel like
Good
at the
girl.
end of the day, I know that nobody can please me the way that I can please myself. So it's kind of like, at that point, I'm kind of just like there for the ride. And like, I also like am on a lot of antidepressants that make it hard. Like, I definitely like get turned on and horny, but it's like my body doesn't like outwardly respond. Like I don't get super wet, like it's not really, and so again it feels like sometimes people think that I'm not enjoying what's happening, and I do have to be like, before we get into it, I'm like, hey, just so you know, like it's probably not going to be
here,
like I'm here, I'm with
ready.
you, I'm in it, but like my body will not be responding.
Maybe you should try saying this like the next time.
You fucking bitch,
You
fucking
whore.
I'm sure that'll
Be
go
like,
really.
I'm just gonna try
That'll
something.
go down really well in the lesbian community.
Oh yeah, that'll
You
go
fucking
down really
bitch, you
well.
fucking
I
whore.
understand why Charlotte was like obviously shocked and not into it.
Well, and she's so like, of course, like
she's pretty princess, you know.
She's pretty. It's
but
not
I
even
feel like having,
princess, but she feels very like Charlotte. I always feel very protective over. Where I'm always just like, I love you and I want you to be happy and safe.
even when she says it back to him, she's like, there, you just said it. He's like, what? And she was like, you fucking bitch, you fucking whore. Like, she was so cute.
I also want to say the first brunch scene that we had with all of them, the outfit choices, like
everyone looks nuts.
Charlotte and Miranda are dressed for totally different
weathers.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte has like her summer like
Miranda's
pink.
in a turtleneck, like a sweater turtleneck, and Charlotte is wearing like a skinny little spaghetti strap halter top.
Carrie's
like,
in a ginormous blouse.
Yeah.
And then Samantha, I hate when Samantha wears just like a turtleneck. Like it's just not.
I really like Samantha's elevator outfit, the magenta.
Yeah, that was really
monochrome.
I also
like
love that Samantha is living in a rent stabilized apartment with like old rich New Yorkers.
That That made me
she's
laugh
living
so
with
hard.
these elderly people, and she's one of them. She's a rich, classy woman,
She's
you
a rich,
know.
classy lady,
She's just
yeah.
also like she's a slut. Like she's got a bunch of guys over.
Yeah.
But I thought it was so funny knowing that she's living with all these like elderly women who
Yeah.
are like
On the Upper
so
East Side.
uptight.
Yeah.
But I loved Samantha ending up moving to the meatpacking district.
That felt
That was
right.
Good
That felt
morning,
right.
ladies.
Yeah.
Where what would she say? Where
was-
whores are
And
whores,
women are men are women.
and she's like, "This is where I belong." I actually thought Samantha had my favorite storyline this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
was
liked
really
Samantha's story. I also loved. I feel like rewatching this episode, it reminded me how, like, even down to like the phones that they all use, they're so perfect for all of them. Like, Carrie just has the classic, like, you know, like portable landline phone. Samantha has that amazing, like,
that gorgeous,
vintage, like
golden,
golden
yeah.
phone. Miranda is like using her office phone. I was
Yeah.
like, this all just feels so like
Now-
the production design of this show is
Yeah.
so
It's perfect.
It's great.
They knew these girls to a T.
They did.
Like when we first in the first season, we were saying there's a couple episodes where you can tell they're figuring it out.
Yeah.
But like season 2, season 3, like we know who
We know
these
who they
girls
are.
are,
Yeah.
and they're like nailing it. I want to know what we thought about Miranda's storyline. Miranda has chlamydia. She learns it. She's never been tested before, which I thought was like, I don't know. I feel like when I was having sex, I was getting tested like every other week. I was getting tested all the time. She's never been tested before. She's learned she has chlamydia, which her and Steve handle like pros. Like, how is that not a fight?
Yeah.
Her being like, I can't tonight, I have chlamydia, made me laugh out
And
loud.
him not at all being like, there's not one allegation of like, what do you mean? Like, you know, what I- they're living together. And
That's why I love Steve.
I know
was
he's like so trusts Miranda. Like
Yeah.
it's no big deal.
I'm like, yeah, he's annoying, but like he's not
He's
the
not
most
annoying.
annoying.
He's perfect.
I thought it was crazy
He's a
that
great
she was
guy.
making all the calls from her office.
I
That
know.
was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was really
It
crazy.
reminded me, I wrote this down, it reminded me of the episode of The Office where Michael has
Yes.
a cold
Yes.
sore and thinks that he has herpes.
Yeah.
So
And
funny.
That episode of The Office, I think, is great because it like allowed them to bring back all of his ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
And we got to see all of them again. Because he
Yeah.
was, I think that was the season that he ended up leaving. And it was like season 7 or something. So I think it was Steve Carell's last season. So it was a great way to like bring back all of the ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
And I was like, Miranda handled this so much better than Michael Scott did.
I'm like a little shocked though at how many people she called.
It just seems kind of excessive. She
Yeah.
was kind of acting like she had HIV or something.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not gonna
you don't need to
lie.
call,
Videos, just
you don't
like
need
you
to
can-
call the person that you slept with like 3 years,
years
ago.
ago.
Yeah.
I felt like, not to sound terrible, but say like I wasn't tested before Wolf and then mid-relationship got tested, found out I had something. I'm calling the last 3.
Last 3, yeah.
And then I'm calling it a day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think that
this
that's
was
fine.
like this is like another moment where I felt like I related to Miranda, where she was super thorough and was like, I have to like cover all of my bases.
And what was her number? Her number of guys? Because her and Steve shared at the end.
Some 40 something?
Yeah.
I think she
It's
said
in the 40s.
Yeah. I also was like,
Do you guys keep track of yours? Like,
No.
she had to go. I have a list of everyone I've
do?
slept with.
I don't
Oh,
think I've ever actually in my head I've like listed all the people that I've slept with, but I don't think I've ever actually like written it
I
down.
haven't either.
I don't. I wish I kept a list of everyone I've ever hooked up with, because there was that Hyman period where I couldn't have
Right.
sex, and that was like there was so many. Because I also like I wrote little
Hyman
blurbs
years.
about them. Like there's little.
Yeah.
But I have a list of everyone since I've had like penetrative sex with.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's also like weird where I don't know exactly what it like by making the list. I'm like, what do I constitute as sex?
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
That's why I feel weird. I'm like, there were 4 years where I couldn't have penetrative sex, and I was like hooking up people and having relationships. But I'm like, why didn't I keep track of those?
Yeah.
So I don't really know what my number would be.
Yeah, and
42 though. Go Miranda.
go Miranda.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a good number.
That's a good number.
That is a good number.
And she's our age, so or my
What do we
age.
think
Yeah.
Samantha's number is?
I don't know.
If
Hundreds.
Miranda's 42,
Hundreds,
Millions.
hundreds.
like I thought it was crazy that she was able to recall them. If I did not
Yeah.
have this list and you told me to sit down and write every person I had sex with, I can get you
See,
like
I think-
10 guys.
I think I probably could do it just because like I've had periods like long stretches of time where I haven't slept with anyone, so it's like I don't know. It's almost like when it rains, it pours. Where
Catching
I'm like,
magic.
oh yeah, like I
know
remember
that season of my life.
That season of my life, I was like hooking up with people. But
I
it's
can
like,
recall those people.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
When I first moved to New York, I was really excited because I had just come from Western Massachusetts. So I wasn't getting, I wasn't really hooking up with a lot of people. I was in college, but I don't know, I just wasn't. And then when I came to New York, I started hooking up with people. And specifically every Friday night, I would hook up with a new person. And I would write the name of the guy that I was hooking up with on my calendar.
That's
after
fun.
it happened. And then one time, one guy was in my bed and he looked over and he's like, Matt, Kevin. And he's like, wait, what are all those names on Friday nights? And I'm like, oh, they're just like people.
Don't worry about it.
He's
Don't
like,
ask.
Just like have a little name game going on.
he was like, you're gonna add my name after this, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. She's
Just
like,
another one for
and
your
then
collection.
next week Kyle will be like,
Yeah.
what are these names?
no. And then he was like, I gotta go. This is really weird.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was.
See, but it's not really weird because he's having sex with people every Friday night. He's just like not writing it on a calendar.
It was kind of crazy how it was every Friday. There was never like a Saturday guy. I think it's because I went really hard on Friday, and then Saturday
was your
I'd be
big
like
night.
incapacitated. So Saturday I would be like, I can't do anything.
Can't do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way to do it. Have like an amazing Thursday or Friday so you can recover Saturday and then have a nice Sunday.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing worse than like being like when I was like hungover and I just had a guy over and then it's Sunday and I have work on Monday. It was like it's too scary.
Too
Too
much.
scary.
Yeah, that was hell.
What are we
Yeah.
at time wise?
We can wrap soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we can like
I
in
was
the next
realizing
couple
that
minutes.
I didn't know
Yeah,
how
we
much
can.
time had passed.
We're good.
Did you guys have any favorite quotes of the episode?
I liked when they're talking about the guy that broke into that like held up the person in Samantha's building, and Carrie said he came in behind the guy that came in
And
Samantha.
That was really good.
I wrote that was crazy.
I loved the time that when Samantha comes home and we actually see the woman that was holed up at gunpoint and she's got the walker in the eye. I was like, oh,
She was like, it was you. It was like,
I can't open my left
eye because of you.
that was so
How
funny.
did he get to her eye? Like,
Yeah,
I thought he just
like-
held her up at gunpoint. I didn't realize there was like an actual issue.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that she got punched or something by him.
yeah, it was crazy.
I guess if she got, I mean, like getting held up at gunpoint is obviously scary, but like
Yeah.
if he also punched her, like, okay, maybe there's an issue.
Yeah.
It's not really Samantha's fault.
Yeah.
You know, Samantha didn't tell the gunman to come at night with her suitor.
Yeah.
Also, that guy that she had over wasn't hot enough to result in a gunman and her having to move.
True. That I agree
That
with.
I
That I agree
Yeah.
with. All right, you guys. Well, this was a great episode.
And now here live we have
Here
Becky.
live
Shout
we
out.
Big shout out to Becky Hermenze.
I mean, you guys do always, you say my name correctly, so that's all I care about.
Other than that first
Okay.
time you were on my show, you were like Becky Hermenze, and I was like, next up we have Becky Hernandez. That was awful.
Becky
People
Hernandez.
always ask me like if I'm Latina, and I'm like, no.
I like made you Latina. I was like, whether she likes it or not, we have
made
Becky
you Latina.
Hernandez.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Wait,
But I'm
sure.
like, it's pronounced exactly like it's spelled. So
Yeah.
you know,
so amazing.
But
Becky
that's-
Hermenze for you.
I appreciate that.
And then non-visible Sean Curley.
Sean Curley.
Who also did the music for my podcast as
Oh.
well.
Oh
Oh
So
my god, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wait, that's great.
I know you told me to reach out to
Yeah,
him.
he's really
so
good.
That's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. Well, love you guys. Love you both,
Love you.
honestly.
Love you.
Love
Love
you.
Thank you guys so much.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Can't wait to edit this.